أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه وله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد, we continue inshallah with our lectures of Hajj, Fiqh of Hajj, the jurisprudence of Hajj. And last time we talked about the miqat. What is the definition of the time, miqat of time and miqat of place? Part of the place is the point, the physical area or point that you cannot pass while you intend to, when you intend to make Hajj or Umrah, you cannot pass that point without the ihram, without the niyyah of ihram and doing and entering the state of ihram. So that's the miqat makani, you know. And zaman means you cannot do the intention of Hajj except at certain times. Right? We talked about the distances and all of that. All right. And we talked also about the ihram, the niyyah of the ihram, and it is supposed to be in the heart. But then a person announces the niyyah as well by saying, Labbaik Allahumma Umrah, if they're going for Umrah. Labbaik Allahumma Hajj, we are going for Hajj. Say Labbaik Allahumma Umrah, and we'll see inshallah when we say that exactly when you are doing the Hajj. What are the adab? The adab of al-ihram. What is ihram first? Ihram is to intend to do Hajj or Umrah or both. And it is a rukn, it is a pillar. The definition of the rukn means without which. You can come here this side, brother, so the sisters can sit, Yeah, you can come, inshallah, to this side. Rukn means a pillar, the act without which the amal or the ibadah is not valid. Arafah is rukn. If whoever does not stand on Arafah, no Hajj. Tawaf is rukn. Whoever does not make tawaf of the Hajj is not. Tawaf is rukn in Umrah. Same thing, niyyah is rukn, ihram is rukn, right? Without it, means there is no Hajj. And if somebody just going like this and put the clothes of ihram and just doing like people doing, but they did not intend that this is Hajj, it's not Hajj. Yeah. What are the adab of ihram? Etiquettes of ihram. One, cleanliness. Etiquettes, and I'll mention what is a must, what is not a must, and all of that, right? So etiquettes of ihram, cleanliness. Cleanliness is by clipping one's nails, trimming the mustache. We talked about that last time, not the beard, mustache, and pubic hair, shaving the pubic hair, under the armpit, doing wudu or ghusl. Ghusl is better. Combing the beard and combing the hair before you enter. This is the cleanliness, the acts of cleanliness before one enters the state of ihram. And mostly for the men, because women, they covered anyways, for their. Also the ghusl, even for the woman in her period or the postpartum, bleeding. To do ghusl, and this is a sunnah, ghusl of cleanliness. It does not make her pray or anything like that, because she is prohibited to pray or fast or make tawaf while she is in that period. But still she makes the ghusl, because this was the order of Rasulullah ﷺ to Asma bint Umays, the wife of Abu Bakr, when she delivered the baby at the time of the miqat, deliver her son. Also for the men, is to get rid of all the stitched clothing, and I explained that actually last time, and have two pieces of garment. Inshallah in the workshop we'll explain how they look like. I'll demonstrate and I'll say how to put them. For the women, this does not apply. The hijab and all of that, the same thing. Women in the state of ihram is only the niyyah, and make sure the face and the hands are uncovered. That's for the women when they are doing ihram. Alright? This is the only thing in regards to clothes. Your niyyah and the heart, that's both men and women. The clothing of ihram, for women there is no change, except if you are wearing niqab, you don't cover your face and you don't put gloves in your hands. But the rest, clothing, okay. For the men, clothing is different. You get rid of all the clothing that is stitched, underwear, pants, socks, shirts, undershirts, coats, hats, nothing, none of that in the state of ihram, except 2 garments. They look like towels or like the material of the coffin. You know the material of the coffin that they put the fabric, the muslin, or something like that, cotton or something, or like the towels, you know, beach towels, but white. So it looks like that. So you'll find those 2 are the ones that all men wear at the time of Hajj and Umrah. One will cover the lower part and one covers the upper part. Okay. And also it is supposed to be white because, you know, as Rasulullah SAW said, the dearest color of clothing to Allah is white. So this is a cultural thing, and again, this is a habit, but it's better if you can do that, then you wear white. Rasulullah wear different colors in other times, but in the time of Hajj, white. Because it resembles Yawm al-Qiyamah, right? It resembles Yawm al-Qiyamah, and resembles the coffin. Everybody's equal. This is the whole point. Also, it is etiquette to put perfume for men, not for women. You know, the perfume of the women used to be having a smell, but no one else can smell. I know it's hard to explain, but before they used to squeeze certain flowers. You know, to take lots of flour, but it comes few drops, and the smell is very subtle. Okay. So the sweat and all that does not come out. So if women apply that perfume, no other person can smell it. But she can smell it herself, or someone who really close, you know, a husband hugging or close or touching, then they can smell that. But other than that, cannot be smelled. So that's okay for women, We're not talking about Hajj, general. But for men, they can put perfume that can be smelled, you know. And Rasulullah SAW used to put lots of misk. Musk is a very powerful smell. Okay. So for men, you can put the perfume before ihram, even if the smell stays in the clothes of ihram. But that's before you enter niyyah, you know. So you put under your armpit, you know, your body, your hair, you know, your face, you know, rub and all of that, the misk, you know, and perfume. And then you put your garments of ihram. Of course, it's going to catch that smell, especially it's oil-based. But that's okay. As long as it is not after you enter the state of ihram, you cannot apply any perfume. So it's etiquette to do that. Said Aisha used to put for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the middle of his hair. He used to comb his hair right and left. So in the middle you used to see the skin of his hair sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and she used to put misk in the middle here. The Sahaba used to see how red, you know, reddish color, orange reddish color from the misk that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam put in the middle there. No. And the women has misk too, but as I told you, the misk which does not have that smell. That's why Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the misk of men, you see, you smell it, but you don't see it. The misk of the women, you can see it, but you don't smell it. It used to have like a texture or a color. That's why Aisha said one of us would put misk in the ihram, and when we sweat, the misk will drip on our faces, right? And Rasulullah see that, but he did not say anything. But I don't want you to be deceived when you're reading this kind of thing. Said, oh, the women used to put perfume too. Why you are telling us that? Just telling you the perfume definition at all times is different from our definition of perfume now. Okay? So it's completely different, yeah. They used to call it a tib. A tib does not indicate any smell in it. The word tib means something pure, something nice. You put it on you not to smell bad. So it does not indicate that it has to smell good. You see the different thing? So tib is like purifying something. So the person does not smell bad. Like deodorant, which is not scented. Okay, so the tib of the woman was like that. You may see the color of it, but you don't see you don't smell it. But for the men, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Also, etiquette of the ihram is to pray 2 rak'ah before it, to read Surah Al-Fatiha Al-Kafirun the first rak'ah, to read Surah Al-Fatiha Al-Ikhlas Qul Allahu Ahad in the second rak'ah, and make ihram after them. If you make ihram after Salat al-Dhuhr or Asr, Maghrib, Isha, Fajr is enough. If there is no Salah, You pray 2 nafil and then you pray 2 rak'ah. Pray 2 rak'ah nafil and then make the niyyah of ihram. It is etiquette, sunnah, better to have the ihram after a salah. That's the whole idea, yani. After a salah. Ihram 3 types. Qiran means Hajj and Umrah together. We will explain that. Tamattu', which most of the people doing. You know, when you go a few days before the Hajj, you do Tamattu' because Umrah takes only 1 day. From the time you arrive, if you arrive in Mecca, Umrah basically takes about 2 hours. The acts of Umrah take about 2 hours. But Hajj takes days, right? So, and in between, this is the time of Tamattu', means time you live your normal life. So, Qiran, Tamattu' and Ifrad means Hajj only, and this is mostly for the people of Mecca. People who are residents of Mecca cannot do anything except Ifrad. You know, this is their fard, their thing. And Ifrad also for people who cannot afford to do Hadi, to slaughter. Because when you do Hajj Ifrad, you don't have to do Hadi. If you do Qiran and Tamattu', you have to slaughter. If you bring the slaughtering animal with you from your destination, then you have to do Qiran. See, it's all logic, logical. It's like math, right? So what do you want to do? I'm doing Ifrad, then you don't have to slaughter, right? If you are living in Mecca, so Ifrad only. If you are from the people of Mecca. If you are coming from outside, you can do Qiran and the Tamattu'. If you have the animal with you, you must do Qiran. Right? So you have to understand all of these things. So if you are going to Medina first, ask yourself what day I'm going to Mecca. Right? Hypothetically speaking, if somebody going to Mecca on the 9th day, what is the 9th day? What do we do on the 9th day? What do we do? There is no Tamattu' then. When are you going to make Tamattu', right? It's already the 9th or the 8th of the Hijjah. When are you going to do Tamattu'? It's the time of Hajj already. So you have no option except to do what? Qiran. Right? So somebody comes from Medina and they arrive on the 8th. Khalas, they will do Qiran, Hajj and Umrah together. They will do the Tawaf. They have the choice to do the Sa'i. If they do Tawaf and Sa'i, this Tawaf is Sunnah. This Tawaf is Sunnah. That's like a Umrah Tawaf, but it's considered the Sunnah. And the Sa'i is the Sa'i of Hajj. So then after they finish the 9th and all of that and the Jamrat and all of this, when they go to Mecca to do Tawaf, they do Tawaf only. They don't have to repeat Sa'i again. If they did not do Sa'i in the first time, they have to do Sa'i in the second time. And I told you, if you are following Hanafi madhab, you do Tawaf and Sa'i in the beginning and Tawaf Sa'i at the end. Alright? So either way. Yeah. So that's called what? Qiran. But if a person comes on the 7th, 6th, 7th, or 5th, 7th, let's say 7th is the latest, and they come in the morning for Mecca, can they do Tamattu'? Yes. Even if before Fajr of the 8th. Tamattu' will be 1 hour only. No problem. But you have like in between, so you get the reward for Hajj Tamattu'. Okay, so the whole idea is to separate between Umrah and Hajj. So now Ifrad, Qiran and Tamattu'. All permissible, but the ulama differed which one is better than which. which one is better. Since we have, I think, all 4 madhahib sitting here tonight. Anybody Maliki here? Anybody following madhab Maliki? Nobody. So Shafi'i we have, I'm sure. All the Malaysian brothers and sisters here, you're Shafi'i. Hanafi, mashallah, we have, majority of the masjid. And Hanbali, your brother only here. So, but I'll tell you inshallah which one is better according to each one. All right. So this is what is the Quran? I explained to you. So when a person is in the miqat, he say labbaik Allahumma hajjan wa umrah, or umratan wa hajja. So now you Quran. Quran means put them together. Quran means together. Qareen means attached, something attached. So now you are intending Hajj and Umrah together, means no separation in between. Tawaf, Sa'i, no shaving or cutting hair. You continue with the Ihram, Niyyah, everything continues until the 8th of the Hijjah. Doesn't matter how long you started, right? 8th of the Hijjah, and then you continue the Hajj. After you finish Hajj, Alhamdulillah, you're rewarded for Hajj and Umrah, but you did not separate. That's the only difference between Quran and the Tamattu', right? Tamattu' is Umrah, Tawaf, Sa'i, then you cut or shave. And then you wait normally everything until the 8th of the Hijjah. Doesn't matter how short or how long. Then you start the manasik of Hajj exactly it is. Okay? Ifrad, you start with Hajj and you stay in Hajj كده until everything finishes. Alright? And you only have one tawaf, one sa'i as well. So mostly people, do the tawaf al-qudum, sunnah, that, and they wait until Hajj, and that's it. Lots of brothers and sisters from Malaysia like al-Ifrad, because according to Shafi'i, they have two opinions about Shafi'i, the early one and the late one, that Ifrad is better, so they stay in Hajj Ifrad, And then they will do Umrah maybe after the Hajj. طيب. Shafi'is, they said that Ifrad number 1, Tamattu' number 2, Qiran number 3. Okay? But Ifrad for them is the best. They are not saying it's not permissible, or they're saying it's haram or you are sinful. No, they're saying which one is better. Right? Which one is better? And I'm not going to go to the dalils and the discussion. This will take lectures to explain. All right. Hanafi, they said Qiran is better, Tamattu' second, and Ifrad after. Right? So Qiran, according to Hanafi, is better. Malikis, like Shafi'i, but they said Ifrad first, Tamattu' second, Qiran third. Hanabila, they say Tamattu' is better than all, than Qiran, and Qiran is better than Ifrad. And this is easier for everybody, to go, unless you are in a crunch, time crunch. That's why you'll find everybody actually doing that regardless of their madhab. Mostly people do Tamattu'. It's very hard to stay in the state of Ihram, especially like people going now in August, right? The Amal of Hajj will be like in September, August, September. And it's going to get hotter and hotter in the next, few years, and next about 15 years. It will, be between now and the month of May until the weather starts going. This is hard. 110 degrees, 115 degrees, and you stay in the state of Ihram, uncomfortably sitting like a brothers, moving around, you're taking showers and everything, but still, it's hard. And this is what Rasulullah wished, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Even he did not do, but he said that why he had to do. He had to do. He said, if I had the option, I would not bring the hadi and I would have done tamattu'. But since I did not do that, I don't have an option. From that, the ulama said that he wished it, he wanted it. Should he had the chance, he would have done it. So that's why tamattu' is better. Okay. When Rasulullah ﷺ told them to make it tamattu' for the first time, so you are in a state of ihram, you passed your miqat. Before you passed the miqat, you prayed, you did the niyyah, of ihram, then you said labbaik Allahumma umrah, because you are doing tamattu'. You are not going to say the word hajj now. No word hajj. Be careful, right? labbaik Allahumma عمرة متمتعا بها إلى الحج. I'm making this عمرة تمتع until Hajj. Or just say عمرة. بس. You don't have to say لبيك اللهم عمرة. Anything else is extra. And you can have the Ya Allah, if I get stuck, accept it from me. This extra stuff. But what is necessary is لبيك اللهم عمرة. And then, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Now you are in a state of ihram, and we'll talk about the list of the things you are allowed to do and the things you are not allowed to do. Because once you violate, there are repercussions. Okay? So that's the meaning of ihram. You did that, you went to the Kaaba, you are going to make the tawaf of al-umrah. Tamattu', we're talking about tamattu' now. Making tawaf of al-umrah. And then, sa'i of al-umrah. Here comes the difference between Qiran and Tamattu', right? Qiran, he says Hajj and Umrah. Tamattu' said Umrah only until Hajj time comes, right? So, this is good. Now, why I'm telling you here is the difference. Because even you did the intention there in the miqat, you did the intention, for one thing. You can change it to the other, you know that. You can change it to the other. A person can start with Umrah, he say Umrah only. And then you come, and after you finish tawaf and sa'i, you said, you know what, I don't have enough time. today is the 7th or something like that. I'll continue with the, with Hajj, make it Qiran. Even you started the niyyah of the Umrah only for tamattu', but you are not doing Umrah separate in anything, or doing Umrah of Hajj, yani, right? So then you can make it Qiran, you don't shave. Or the opposite. Somebody started Qiran, right? And then he comes there and he said, you know what, I will hulli, yani. I will take off and I will shave and I will change it to tamattu'. But they don't have the hadi with them. And that's what Rasulullah did. He told the people, when you don't have hadi, even though they make niyyah for Hajj, right? He said, no, make it Umrah only for those who do not have hadi. If you have hadi, then you're stuck. Okay? If you don't have hadi and you want to do Quran because of time, now you have time, so you can say, you know what, I'm going to change it to tamattu'. I started tamattu'. You know what, I'm going to change it to Quran. So you can change from one nusuk to the other at that point, yani. Not later, at that point. Alright, so that's where the difference is. Tawaf and sa'i and that. Now, if a person continues in Qiran, pay attention to that. If a person continues in Qiran, they did not shave or cut or take or their ihram. They want to continue until the end of Hajj. Okay? Now we ask them, what did you do? Tawaf only? Because you wanted to continue Qiran? Or you did Tawaf and sa'i anyways? If you did Tawaf only, you have to do Tawaf and sa'i, the day of Eid, right? If you did Tawaf and sa'i, you do Tawaf only at the day of the Eid. So sa'i has to be done only once for Qiran. Qiran person, he does what? Sa'i once. If he does it after the first Tawaf, is okay. If he does it after the second Tawaf, is okay. He did not do it the first one, he has to do the second one. He did with the first one, he should not do the second one unless you want to follow the Hanafi, you do the second one as well. Tamattu', he has to do two, because you're already out of ihram and entering it again. Is that point clear here? So it depends what you want to do. All right. We mentioned about the sa'i and all of that. And there are many ahadith in this in regards to the tawaf and sa'i. Now a person who is not able to afford the hadi, it has other rulings. That they fast 3 days in Hajj, okay, and 3 days and 7 days when they come back. If they cannot do that, they have to feed 6 miskeen, each miskeen half sa'. Half sa' is like 1.5 kilograms. 1 sa' is 3 kilograms, approximately. Yeah. Between 2.5 and 3 kilograms of rice or raisin or anything like that. So half sa' for 6 masakeen means 3 sa'. What is the sa' anyways? Sa' nabawi, yani the prophetic sa' is 4 handfuls. Okay, 1, you put it, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, with rice or whatever. So this 4 times, full, generous, average hands. 4 times, that's sa'. Okay, so when we say each miskeen half sa' means 2 of that. So 6 miskeen means 3 sa'. Each sa' is about 3 kilograms, means 9 kilograms. So either the person slaughter hadi, if you are tamattu' or Qiran. If they cannot afford it, they fast 3 days in Hajj and 7 when they go back home. All right? If they cannot do that physically, or they give that sadaqah, that food before they go back. طيب. Talbiyah. Now, according to Ahnaf, tarbiyah is wajib. So you have to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Or say any tasbih or anything. If a person was quiet from the beginning until they reach the Kaaba, they have to slaughter a lamb, according to Hanafi scholars, You have to say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Of course, everybody will do it. But let's assume, somebody put ihram and they went to sleep. And they woke up when the Kaaba was there, right? I'm just giving you some hypothetical things, and it can be done. Actually, it's done. I saw people before, they go in a state of ihram, very tired and all that. They sit in the bus and all the way until Mecca, They come to Mecca hotel and all of this. What should I do now? And Umrah there. If you are following Hanafi madhab, you're going to slaughter a lamb because of that, because you did not do a wajib. Wajib is talbiyah, right? So you have to understand that, because you follow, it's good, because this madhab makes you care about your deen. I want you to understand it like that. Don't think madhab is like a bunch of people who are creating their own rules. Never think like this. You have to have ihtiram, adab and ihtiram and respect to these scholars, Abu Hanifa wa Malik wa Shafi'i wa Ahmad. These people, they are the best people in the ummah who want to get us closer to the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And nobody can debate that they have better understanding than anybody coming after them. There is no way, Allah make them that famous over 1400 years for no reason, These people really serve the deen. So if you stick with one of them, you have a package. Sometimes it is hard in certain things, sometimes it is easy in certain things. But you cannot take all easy or take all hard, Now you are inventing the deen. And the two people who did that, they both went out of the religion, subhanallah. Those who want to choose everything easy, say, don't care about this madhahib, they ended up what? Abandoning the deen, coming out with this whatever called progressive, blah, 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 whatever, right? And they just want to follow like something according to their desire and lust. Because this is what easy is, right? This is more convenient for me. So pick and choose, they end up with a new religion altogether. Am I right? You see that all the time. Somebody just wants a religion for convenience. Okay? And someone take extreme only, like hard only. So they feel or they consider themselves, they are the only good Muslims. Everybody else is either fasiq, kafir or bid'ah. You see that, right? But following the madhab with respecting others, alhamdulillah, you know what? I feel that I'm going to stick with the Hanafi school. Whatever it is said, I'll stick with it. While my brother is sticking with the Shafi'i, Maliki or Hanbali. Alhamdulillah, Even though I'm not doing what you do, but alhamdulillah, may Allah gather us both in Jannah Firdaus. Yes, consider it from that perspective, Don't consider it from a perspective, ya akhi, just give us something black or white. No, not necessarily. If Allah wanted it like that, it would have been like that. And those scholars agreed on many things in the deen because it is like that. Many things in the deen, they don't have a say in it. They don't. Ijma', right? Why should I exert any effort if it is so clear? Because it is not clear, everyone is trying their best to reach to the haqq. Okay? So inshallah, everybody is right. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So, talbiyah, according to the majority is a sunnah, according to Hanafi is a wajib, it has to be done. And we talked about the tawaf and sa'i and all of that. Now, what is the fadl of talbiyah? Importance of it. طبعا this is a statement of tawheed. Statement of tawheed. Why you came? Why you came over here? To who? For who? For Allah. La sharika lak. Right? That's the statement here. And you want to be like that Yawm al-Qiyamah, right? Like when you're standing in front of Allah, you want to be able to say that. That I'm coming here with no shirk. I'm coming here for you, Ya Allah. I will do exactly what you want me to do. And I have done what you exactly want me to do. So forgive me. Right? Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, radiyallahu anhu, narrated in the hadith recorded in Ibn Majah, he said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, there is no muhrim, no person in the state of ihram, man or woman, that they start their day with talbiyah, saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik, until the sun set, except all their sins are erased, they become like a newborn child. So that's one day of talbiyah, subhanallah. So that's why the miqat of Ahl Medina is far. So they spend more time in talbiyah, and they used to take days actually until they reach. Now it's about a day. You take a day, from the time you leave Medina until the time you reach Mecca, it's about a day, give or take. Even if the road itself, the actual road itself takes 5 hours or so, but the time you get down from your hotel until you board the bus leaves, that's 3-4 hours right there. And then 5-6 hours in the road until the bus comes and the bags are up and all of that, that's 3 and 4 hours again. So you have 4 hours, 6 hours, and 4 hours. And then, Umrah takes 3-4 hours. And it's a day, It takes a day. So you do talbiyah for a day, basically. Now, Rasulullah SAW said, anybody who gives talbiyah with Hajj for Hajj or Umrah except Allah gives them glad tidings. They said, glad tidings of what, Ya Rasulullah? Of Jannah? He said, of course, of Jannah. Naam, bushira bil jannati. Also, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whoever does talbiyah, anything that he passes by, stone or sand or trees or anything, makes talbiyah with him. Everything makes talbiyah with you. And that becomes in your balance in Yawm al-Qiyamah. So everything making talbiyah for you as well. And many other, hadith. Women don't raise their voice. They can only say it. The person beside you can hear it. That's it. But you don't scream it like the men. Men raise their voice until they will say that by the time they reach Mecca, or by the time they are halfway, their voices are already, tired, exhausted. Rasulullah SAW and the people with. Also, the person in the Umrah, you do the talbiyah until you see the Kaaba. Some ulama said until you start from Al-Hajar Al-Aswad, touch it, wave to it, then talbiyah stops. Right? Also, it is mustahab that after you finish the talbiyah, you say Salah and Salam Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like you say 5-6 times talbiyah, and then you say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Durud, the dua. That's good too. Great reward. When you are in that state of ibadah, you mention Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also. Also, you make dua to yourself and to your family and to the Muslim ummah while you are in the state of talbiyah. Pause after every few times, do Salah on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then pause after a few times and do Allahumma ghafirli, Allahumma arhamni, Allah guide my children. This kind of dua. And that puts you in a certain mindset. Because some people do talbiyah, then they kind of go to sleep. Or do talbiyah, then they come to chit-chat. Until you remind them again, brothers, sisters, talbiyah please, 5-10 minutes, then they start talking, right? So, when you engage in dua for yourself and your family and you keep repeating that, inshallah you will stay focused. It's very important. Because we like to benefit ourselves of something, like I want something for myself. So you say, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, Salah on Rasulullah, dua for yourself, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, Salah on Rasulullah, dua for yourself, and you'll see inshallah the time passing, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Now, what are the things permissible for ihram? And pay attention to that, because many people get confused and they ask those questions over and over and over and over again. Have a group of 100 people, about 70 of them ask the same question. Can you imagine that? You're standing there, Shaykh, can I use soap with a smell? Ya akhi, we said in the workshop, yes, you can. If you want to have comfort in your heart, don't. But if you used it, no problem, right? Then you just finish and move, and another brother comes or sister comes. Shaykh, can we use soap with a smell? And then a third person, what about sanitizer? What about shampoo? What about deodorant? What about everything is the same. If you listen to the workshop, clearly you would have understood, right? You wouldn't ask that question, and you save me from the trouble of answering the same exact question over and over and over again. Also, when you go to Hajj, inshallah, if the imam or the administration making a meeting, attend those meetings like important. Don't take it easy and say, you know what, I know everything, you're gonna miss something, and when time comes, you will ask the question and you will look very bad, because everybody knows what to do except you. The smart one, right? It's always the case, I'm included, One time I missed the thing, then they come and I said, what? They said, Shaykh, you did not attend the class. You told us to keep your ID with you, right? So you look very bad. Even you are among the organizers. So please attend those meetings when you are a jama'ah or a group, so you don't miss things. Unless you have an emergency excuse, make someone record it for you and listen to it attentively so you're exactly in the picture. It's very important for you, right? It's the trip of a lifetime, so do it properly. Don't take things lightly just because you know stuff, okay? That's my advice, You can take it, leave it, up to you. So what are the things that permissible? To take ghusl, shower, to change your clothing. Sometimes people think that once I stay in enter a state of ihram, sister especially, even though we said it doesn't matter your clothing of ihram, but they feel that if I enter a state of ihram with that set of clothing, I cannot change it. They sweat, they stink, they feel like this, and they don't want to change. Yeah, go change it. Go change it. Take a shower, man. Go. Take a shower, Oh, can I take a shower? We're supposed to smell bad all the time in front of the Kaaba? Is this the intention of it? It's not the intention of it. Yes, we are humble. We are a state of weakness and suffering. But subhanAllah, if it's accessible to you, it's okay. It's okay. Rasul SAW took a ghusl before he left Medina. Took a ghusl in the miqat. Took a ghusl in the middle of the road. Took a ghusl when he reached Mecca. Took a ghusl before the tawaf, Took a ghusl before Arafah. He did all of that himself, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So why people insist on the more sweat, the more bad I look, the better I am. It's not like that. It's not like that, Naam. So Abdullah ibn Abbas entered and took a bath, in the road when he's going to the ihram, and some people said, "Oh, you're doing this while you are muhrim." He said, "Does Allah need me to be dirty, ما يفعل الله بأوساخنا?" What Allah would do with our dirt, Allah wants us to be clean. Subhanallah. See, this is the understanding of the deen. So it's okay, permissible to take a shower, to change your ihram clothes. Just avoid the prohibitions of ihram as we will mention. Even if the ghusl you want to cool down, that's all right too. That's okay. All right? So you want to do that? That's fine. Now, some of the ulama said, don't wash your head and rub it. But actually, Abdullah ibn Abbas said it's okay. Abu Ayyub al-Ansari radiallahu anhu said, I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam putting water on his head, and he moved his hand back and forth to wash his head, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But it is better not to, exaggerate, put the shampoo and lather and all of that, because hair will fall without a need. Then you are in the doubt area. Do a slaughter had them or not? Avoid that. Just do the necessary things. Also, it's permissible to put a mask or something for the men on the face. Some people, they have issues with that. But actually, some of the Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu, Zayd ibn Thabit, Marwan ibn al-Hakam, they used to cover their faces when there is dust or something coming at them, a sandstorm or something like that. They cover their nose and their, they cover with the ihram, with the, cover their face, with the ihram or a piece of cloth or something. So no problem. And now there is the medical mask. If you don't feel a need for it, better not to do it. If you feel there is a need for it, it's okay to do it. But I don't say that when you're going to Hajj, do it. There's nobody said that, right? It's permissible, but you evaluate, when to do it and when not. Don't cover your head though. Just the necessary part. All right. Also for the women, they can wear socks, you can wear shoes, no problem. But for men, no. No socks, no shoes. Your heels and your ankles have to be uncovered. For the men, women, okay. Socks are okay. It will help you a lot in the sa'i especially. For men in the sa'i, oh my God. So may Allah Azza wa Jal help, It's long time, it's flat, it's marble, your feet. So sometimes, put some Vaseline or something like that to tenderize your skin before you do these things. Now, also, if a person covers their head out of forgetfulness, then they remember or somebody reminded them, or they wear something out of forgetfulness. And I will explain to you in a minute. Imam al-Shafi'i said there is nothing on them, but Abu Hanifa said they have to slaughter even if they forget. So I told you, sometimes it's hard in one part and easy in another. Al-Ahnaf, they are the most permissive madhab in marriage, but they are the hardest in divorce. If you just kind of hint to the divorce, if you intend divorce, it is divorce, right? But marriage is the easiest thing. Okay, so, one part here, one part there. That's why I'm saying when you follow the package. Okay, so don't kind of criticize the other person or look down upon one madhab. It's not right to do that. It's not etiquette. It's not adab. It's not politeness, So Imam Abu Hanifa said, even if they're forgetful, they have to do it. Hijama. is allowed, permissible. Who knows hijama? Anybody knows hijama? What's hijama? Cupping. You know cupping? You know, they put the cup, they take the air out of it somehow, yani, either by having some fire to take the oxygen out, then they put the cup on the skin, it sucks the skin up until it becomes red. Or there is the, you know, suction cups. So either or, but the whole idea is to take the air between the skin and the cup, all right? Until that, then they take the cup and then they get a blade and then they kind of scratch it in a certain way, about 20 scratches in each one, you know, diagonally, not horizontally. Horizontally is very bad, right? So you have to do diagonally like this, scratching the skin only, and then, you know, put the cup again in the same method, so it sucks all the blood out and they circulate the blood in the body. This is the whole idea of hijama, and the shifa in it, as Rasulullah SAW said. And hijama now, there are many medical doctors doing it, and it is done, mashallah, in a proper way. It's coming now to America. It is very commonplace in Europe, especially England and the UK, in the Middle East, but now it is coming to America. If you done it right, if you do it right, if you follow the medical rules of hazardous material and all of that and liabilities, and, you know, because you don't want to do things just because. And it's best to be done by a doctor who is a religious person as well, right? Chinese, they do it, but they do it, Chinese or Asian, Far East, they do it, but in a different way. Not necessarily the wet one, not necessarily the scratching one with the blood, but they do it in a different way. They do it dry, or they keep moving the cup around the body in a certain way, right? But our Islamic one is you put it and you take it out and let it go by itself. That's just dry one, right? And then there are spots on the body for everything. If you have a kidney problem, you put it in a certain things. The back is like the key for the whole body, from the neck all the way down to the buttocks, you know, like that part is like a key. So if you put like 8 or 10, it shows what this person have. So the part that will turn purple, it will tell you lung problem, kidney problem, liver problem, stomach problem, leg problem, any problem, it will tell you exactly. And then you start scratching that part, and then, you know, you do it once a month for few sessions, and inshallah you'll see lots of goodness in it. It actually circulates the blood, it goes to the affected areas, and then, you know, that's the whole idea of hijama, yani. You scratch like that, so the blood, you know, reacts in a certain way, so it goes everywhere in the, rushes everywhere in the body. And then, you know, it heals the affected area, and then you see the result after that. MashaAllah, al-hijama is a very good thing if it is done right. If it is done right. And subhanAllah, hijama is also with the ruqya shar'iyya. It saves the person from hasad, from jinn, from sihr, from many other things as well. You know, hijama. Hijama, mashallah, is a great thing. Rasulullah SAW said the shifa is in honey, you know, and in hijama. Also, he says shifa is in the black seed oil. You know, there are tibb al-nabawi, prophetic medicine. I advise you all, inshallah, to have that book by Ibn al-Qayyim, prophetic medicine. You read about hijama, inshallah. So hijama is permissible for a person in Hajj. Rasulullah did hijama while he was in a state of ihram. طبعا they differ. Sometimes you do hijama on the head, that will require to shave the head, and that becomes a violation of ihram, right? So if it is not necessary, means that person is sick, that the hijama has to be done in the middle of the head. And that's the most professional, most dangerous. You know, sometimes you have to do it in the middle of the head, or on the two veins, I mean, on the back between the neck and the head. You know, this is very dangerous, you know, to do. That's only a pro have to do this. Don't let anybody do hijama for you on your head or in your neck, except if they know what they're doing. Certified, right? The back is okay, yani. I'm not saying anybody can do it, but still, you know, no big harm out of it. Also, it's allowed to look in the mirror. Wallahi, you'll be surprised. Some people said, I don't look in the mirror because it will violate my ihram, you know. I don't know where they come with it, but even at the time of the Sahaba, they talked about it. So, yani, it's not a strange thing, you know, because you are a state of ihram, ibadah, originally prohibition, you know. You are prohibited to do many things, so they are afraid. Yani, when you are in salah, you are not allowed to talk, except what Allah tells you to talk about, yani, to read Fatiha and all that. You understand my point? The default rule in ibadah is prohibition, except what Allah allowed you to do. So Hajj, people assume that everything becomes prohibited except what you allow me to do. Same, yani. So that's why we say you can look at the mirror, but don't do it excessively. Smelling perfume and all of that, no problem. But be careful, because sometimes the bukhur, you know the bukhur, the incense, the smoke will come in your clothes of ihram. If you're intentionally going toward that, you violate your ihram now. It's like you're putting perfume. But if you are in an area and they are putting bukhur or perfume around the Kaaba, sometimes they do around the Kaaba, and it touches you, there's no problem, you know. This is unintentional, yeah. But don't intentionally go, because some people in the state of ihram, they smell bad and all that. You know, the perfume vendors over there around the haram, and then you find that brother, he's going toward the store, because the smoke is coming out, right? He's going toward the store and raising his armpit like this, and then go the other side and raising his armpit like this. So the store, I saw it, but my eyes, right? He's the state of ihram, but he knows he's doing wrong, He goes and he just walk, and then goes back, and so he smells good. Now you just violated your ihram, my brother, right? So don't do that. This is intentional now. You want to smell good, that's intentional. When you are in ihram, so be careful. Just go take a shower, Yeah. Also having a belt, al-himyan. Al-himyan wal-hamyan. Al-himyan means the sharwal kameez. Sharwal, it has a big long rope. That's called al-himyan in Arabic. So anything that goes around the waist to keep the sharwal from dropping, that's called himyan. So having that in your lower izar is okay, allowed, because sometimes izar also, people are thin sometimes, that their izar might go down. They don't have the bone in the, they have like, very weird waist sometimes that goes down. So it's okay to have that. Now is the belt, right? There's a belt that goes around it. That's himyan. Al-hamyan is a small sack that they used to put the money in it and tie it in the other one. Now you have that white belt for the men. It has pockets, so you can put your stuff in it. But be careful, by the way, because sometimes you get busy and people can scratch it and take whatever in it, so sometimes it's better to have a type of belt that you can fold your ihram over it. I will show that in the workshop, inshallah. Tricks, hacks. Yeah, halal hacks. Now, so this is okay. You can wear the ring, you can wear the eyeglasses, right? Even if it has some rope or something, so if it falls, it stays in your neck, that's all right. Also, you can scratch. Some people, they have a problem with scratching. They said, don't scratch your head, just do like this. No, you can actually scratch. No problem, If you want to scratch, scratch. Otherwise, you'll be distracted, you'll not be doing good ibadah, and it's not good. We talked about looking at the mirror, smelling the good, right? Putting the kuhl. Putting the kuhl. Men also put kuhl, by the way. Kuhl surma, right? Kuhl. So men also put kuhl as a medicinal remedy. Also using an umbrella, because this is something above your head now, or sitting under a tent. Some people, like the Shia, their madhab, they don't want you to sit under anything. So you'll find that they used to have before, I don't know if they still have it or not, but we used to see buses, like school bus that we have here, without a roof. They don't have a roof, so they don't cover their head. Also, the imamah of the men, you'll always find it is open from the middle. Does not have a hat like this. They wear the imamah, but no hat like this one. But that's too much, right? So you can have a roof of a car, because you are going to be in the tent. You're going to be in a hotel. What about the roof of the room? If you're not going to be covered, then that means you're going to be homeless in the desert all the time. But that's Rasulullah stayed in the tent, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah. So that's all right. Some using henna. They said don't use it on your hand or your. They, of course, men don't put anything on your head. They differed about the women. Better to avoid. It's just don't put yourself in an area of doubt. The ulama differed. Killing any insect that it is harmful. Someone that have allergies from the mosquitoes. Right? They have the what they call it, some kind of lactate or something like that in the blood. that attracts the mosquito in your sweat. So the more you have of that, the mosquitoes come. Some people have their allergic reaction. So they're in a state of ihram and the mosquito comes stand on their hand. They're afraid that if they hit it, they will slaughter a hadi. No, you hit it. You're actually supposed to hit it because it's harmful, right? So you can kill the flies, mosquitoes, ants, if fire ants or ants that bite. If something in the road of the people or something like that, you can kill it. Those lice or things, anything harmful, insects that is harmful to you or the area that you're staying at, no problem, no restriction in killing it while you're in a state of ihram. There is a story that Abdullah ibn Abbas, one time, there was a camel there, and he told his student Ikrimah, this camel is suffering from some lice, right? So go pick the lice from the camel, like that. So he refused. He told him, when I'm in a state of ihram, right? I am in a state of ihram. He told him, okay. So after a little bit, he told him, we need some meat, go slaughter the camel. So he went and slaughtered it. He said, MashaAllah. You slaughter the camel, kill the camel, and kill all the lice in it as well. That's all right. But picking one of them to save the camel, you don't want to do it, huh? So he's using logic with him, he said. Yeah. What are now the restrictions of ihram? So we talk about the things that people will think it is prohibited, but it's not prohibited. You can smell perfume, you can take shower, you can, comb your hair, you can, scratch. We're talking about these things now. What are the things that restricted? Those are the things that you really need to be aware of. Intercourse between men and women, husband and wife. That is anything leading to it, like kissing or hugging or touching with lust and all of that. Or, hinting to the intercourse. This all should be avoided because it violates the state of ihram. That one with different degrees. Also, a person is supposed to be avoiding all sins, major sins especially. Some people, they are in the state of ihram and they go steal, rob other hujjaj, So this is a sin. Yeah. Yeah, طبعا arguing and talking with, and cutting relationship with people without any valid shari'i reason. Just because they disagreed with you, just avoid talking to people. That's a sin now. We are in Hajj. You're supposed to be more tolerant of each other. Not, tell the person, I want this seat, no, I want that seat. You don't talk to them for the rest of Hajj. That's not right. That's not good, Avoid all of that. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and Allah Azza wa Jalla said, فَمَنْ فَرَضَ فِيهِنَّ الْحَجَّ فَلَا رَفَثَ. No rafath means the intercourse and anything about it. وَلَا فُسُوقَ means committing major sin. وَلَا جِدَالَ argument في الحج. So don't do that. If you avoid that, Allah forgive all your sins. Also violation of ihram. Isha is 9:40, right? So 5 more minutes, we'll finish inshallah. We'll stop after the violations. Libsul makhit means wearing stitched thing for the men, from head to toe. Anything that, having the stitched, and you, as I explained last time, you put it to fit, then it violates the ihram. And any violation of this ihram, as I said, vary the degrees, Other than intercourse, any violation of ihram, you slaughter a hadi. You slaughter a dam. Dam means you slaughter an animal, a sheep, that it will be divided among the people, fuqara Mecca. That's the meaning. Now the intercourse, when it was done? Before the Arafah, during the Arafah, after the Arafah, before Tawaf, after Tawaf, there is different variations in this. One that spoils the whole Hajj, and one doesn't spoil the Hajj, and different things. Yeah. And believe me, shaitan plays a lot in this one. And sometimes we can avoid talking about it. No, I'm not going to touch, But husband and wife, they're living, in one room, like this. Subhanallah, it's all right the rest of the year. But when it comes to when you are in a state of ihram, whatever is prohibited is desired, right? So you give access to everything except one thing. You want to start with that one thing. It's always the shaitan game. Also, wearing any clothes that has a smell in it. So be careful. Yani, we said that you put perfume on your body. If it comes to the clothes of ihram, it's all right. But don't put perfume in the clothes of ihram before ihram. And sometimes people will spray the ihram garment, said, oh, I have not entered ihram yet. Or they put it in some water with the rose or something like that, and then, they wear it. That's not allowed. All right? So, yeah, not wearing any sarwal or any pants or underpants or anything like that. But women, we explain, this rule does not apply to you. What applies to women is not supposed to wear niqab or gloves. There's hadith about that. But yet, the Sayyidah Aisha and the other sahabiyat, female, whenever the men come close to them, they used to cover their face. And when the men go away, they used to uncover their face. Now, you cannot avoid men. That's why you find some women putting like a cover on their face, but not touching their face. They're wearing a hat or something, and that's all right. Now, somebody wearing khuf. Sometimes you're wearing your shoes, and instead of ihram, you cannot find the slippers. Okay? So step on the shoes, the back of the shoes. You'll be all right until you find the slippers. You get my idea? So if you're wearing the socks, and I cut the socks from above, so my heels and my ankle shows, that's all right. Okay? All right. Now, a person cannot, while they're state of ihram, they cannot make aqd of nikah. Sometimes who was there for marriage, right? You might think, actually, it's more than you think. Sometimes couples, they engage and they want to make their aqd when they go there in Mecca. Right? So the family of both are there. They want to make the aqd in Mecca. You cannot make the aqd when you're in state of ihram. You can make aqd between Umrah and Hajj if you are in tamattu, right? Or make aqd after you finish the Hajj. That's all right. Some people, they want to do blessings, like they go there for marriage, the family of the bride, the family of the groom doing Hajj, and they want to make aqd. And sometimes people get married actually there. They see each other there, they talk there, they decide to get married, they want to do it there. I saw both. It's neat, it's cool. Yeah, I like that because people start, like with this, it's beautiful. So, some narration said Rasulullah SAW married Maymuna radiallahu anha while he is in ihram. طبعا the hadith can be interpreted both ways, but it was not in a state of ihram because Maymuna radiallahu anha herself said that Rasulullah married me after he finished the state of ihram. So those who narrated, this is the one who is concerned, this is the one who narrated. Yani. Yeah. Last thing, prohibited to put perfume, we said that. We prohibited to clip the nails or take hair by plucking, by shaving, by any form, by cutting it. All of this are not allowed, and the Quran says that وَلَا تَحْلِقُوا رُؤُوسَكُمْ حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الْهَدْيُ مَحِلَّهُ. Till the hadi time comes, you cannot shave your heads. Right? Also, we hit that one as well. You cannot hunt. The game, hunting the game, you cannot do that because if it is done, there is a violation now, and you have to do an animal which is similar to that or more or less. There is a big deal about it. Also, you cannot eat from something that is hunted for you. Again, you cannot hunt yourself. If someone comes and hunt and they say, this is for you and your group, Shaykh. That's why one time actually we were in the Hajj and in the hotel, they brought deer meat. Some deer meat or something like that. Then I asked one time actually we were in the Hajj and in the hotel, they brought deer meat. Some deer meat or something like that. Then I asked the people, I said, who did this? They said they hunted it for the Hujjaj who come here. I said, we cannot eat from it then because we're still in the state of ihram, right? After the state of ihram, that's fine. But we're in the state of ihram, we have not done our umrah yet, and this is our first meal, we still did not do tawaf or anything, we cannot eat from this. Maybe inshallah next day. Inshallah, we'll pray in a minute. And there is a hadith about that of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Inshallah, we'll stop here. And next time, inshallah, we are going to continue with the acts of Hajj. Inshallah, this next time. And